Hi, it's Catherine Mora here. I'm a book coach and I work with coaches, speakers, and aspiring thought leaders to help them write beautiful quality books and put them out into the world. This is Kat's Book Chat, and today I'm going to be talking about the one secret tip to actually finish your book. Because as you can imagine, as a book coach, I encounter so many people who want to write a book. I encounter people who have started and then they got stuck, people who tried to finish but they just couldn't get it over the line, and then my own clients as well, and the things that they struggle with. Even though they're getting coaching, some of the things still come up. Luckily, they've just got someone to help them work through it. So the first thing I will say is that, you know, you often get this advice that if you want to write a book, people tell you just start writing. And I've said before, this is really terrible advice because it's the first way to get writer's block and to not know where you're going and to go off on tangents and to leave things out because you don't have a plan and an outline to start with. Now that's really important, but it's also not the secret tip, is not having the outline and the plan. So what is it? Another thing I would say is that when people are writing a book, something that I did when I wrote my first book is I only wrote when I felt inspired. Now, I don't know about you, but life in general, especially when you've got a business or a job and a family, can often not be very inspiring. So if you were waiting till you feel inspired, you'd be waiting a long time to get your book done. And for myself, 20 months into writing my book, I'd only done 8 chapters. And a friend of mine, Lisa Clifford, who's an author that lives in Italy, said to me, "Oh, don't wait until you feel inspired. You'll never write the thing." And she was very right, because of course I hadn't. And then I saw an interview with an author named Nikki Gamble who said, writing books isn't about talent, it's about discipline. It's about writing every day, like treating it like a job. And I thought, oh, that's where I've been going wrong. And I started writing every night, whether I felt like it or not, for 15 minutes. I would have written in the morning. I'm more of a morning person, but I had a little baby and a full-time job, so I had to get a time that really worked for me. So when I put him down to bed at 7:30, I would go and sit at my computer for 15 minutes. It is much more effective because the one secret tip, the one thing that gets books written, I can't even speak today, is momentum. Momentum is the number one thing, and I see this in my clients a lot. What happens is sometimes people will say, look, I'm too busy to do it every day. That's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is put aside 2 to 3 hours on a Friday or on a Sunday or, you know, whatever. But inevitably what happens that day, you get invited out, something comes up, you feel tired, you've got a headache, you know, something happens with the kids, you've got to take them to sport or something else. You might, you know, get asked to go out to breakfast, you might be hungover, any number of things can happen, right? And if that happens and you don't have your 1, 2 or 3 hour session, then that's the end of your weekly writing session. And then it's 2 weeks in between sessions, and then you don't have momentum. And momentum is what gets books written. Now, when you have a coach, someone like me, it's still hard to get that momentum going sometimes because life gets in the way. Let's be honest, there's always going to be something on. You're never going to have time to write the book. You just have to manage your priorities. And when you know you've got someone waiting for your chapters every week, that's a really good motivator to actually get them done, right? When you're on your own, it's very easy to let yourself off the hook all the time. Or if you say, oh, my family or my friends, whatever, they're all going to let you off the hook as well, but they'll say, oh, darling, you work so hard, etc. So that's my secret tip. It's all about momentum, chipping away every single day. If you tell yourself, oh, I need 15 minutes to get into it, then you will need 15 minutes to get into it. But if you tell yourself, right, I'm going to have the most productive 15 minutes of my day, set your timer and bam, you'll be just fine. Now, I hope this has helped. I do have a 45-step book writing and publishing checklist. I'm going to drop the link below in the comments so you can access that. And it just lists everything you need to know in order so that you make sure you don't miss out any steps. And apart from that, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.